Morning, everyone. It is Tyler Alexander, your local realtor right here in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Kicking off part two of our local business spotlight, where I kind of go around and get to talk to all the local businesses here in Denham Springs and surrounding areas to kind of let you all know what stuff is to do here, different businesses, different nonprofits and stuff today. So I'm blessed to be joined today with Dr. Chantel Bardineau here at Launch Physical Therapy. She's the executive director up here, as well as Abigail Prescott, who does the fundraising and events here. So I appreciate y'all so much for allowing me to sit down and talk to y'all today. And I guess if y'all just want to tell a little bit about what Launch is, how y'all got into this, how this all got started, just for everyone to kind of learn about Launch.
Sure. So, Launch is a nonprofit organization that serves children with disabilities and their families. And we do speech, occupational, and physical therapy and other things that aren't covered by insurance and Medicaid. So, that could be help with adaptive equipment, the social determinants of health, which is transportation, food, housing, that type of thing. Um, and so it's our mission to help exceptional children lead extraordinary lives, and every family has their own story. So how we help each family looks very different based on what that family's needs are.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So how did y'all get started in this? Like, was it just an idea you had, or is
Oh, this story is so
yeah?
funny.
So how did I'm curious.
So I worked in the public schools in Livingston Parish, and my husband's job moved us to Virginia. And while I was in Virginia, I was a speech therapist for a large hospital system, and families would drive 2 hours to get to me. And so it made me realize that my families, when I was in the school system in Denham, didn't get outside services because Baton Rouge was too far away. It seems like it's not that far, but to take off work, check your child out of school, drive to Baton Rouge, get services, drive them back to school, then get back to work. By that time, you've missed a half a day or more of work. So launch started. I was working on my PhD at LSU, and I thought I was going to be a professor. And while I was in that process, I realized that wasn't the path that God had for me. And so one night I was praying, help me figure this out. And I didn't sleep at all that night. I wrote a business plan, had a name, a logo, I had all the things, and presented it to my husband the next morning. And he said, let's do it. So launch started at that point, and we just hadn't turned back. We didn't know what we didn't know at the time, so we started at Immaculate Conception Church in their Faith Formation Center, and we had little carts. And we would roll clinic in on the cart and then move it out, and then they would have religious education classes in those same rooms later that evening. So that's how we started. And then since then, we've grown exponentially year after year, even with the flood and COVID and all the things. And so now we are on range in Denham Springs, and we purchased this building in March of 22, and we've already outgrown this space.
Wow.
So we have 400 children on our wait list right now. And
Yeah.
so we're fundraising. There's a capital campaign that we're doing right now to build a building on veterans in Denham Springs. So it'll be
Really?
a 3 acre campus. We'll be able to double capacity and just
Expand services. There's a lot.
mhm.
Yeah.
So
That is
keep
awesome.
helping everybody. So
That is
that's the
absolutely
goal.
amazing. So are y'all the only type of clinic that does this here, or
Yeah. So there are clinics that do speech, occupational, and physical therapy, but we address the social determinants of health differently than a for profit clinic does. So, when families on board with us, we learn what their needs are and try to help them and provide wraparound services. So, that might be helping them get to specialists, help them sign up for Medicaid or TEFRA or the waiver, social work type services. We help with transportation. So a lot of our families are a one income household or one vehicle household. And so when dad needs to bring the vehicle to work, then mom doesn't have a way to get kids to therapy. Or if the the one car they have breaks down, then they have no way to get here. So gas cards, Uber cards. We try to help with transportation also to specialists. So a lot of times families we send to New Orleans or Baton Rouge or even Texas Children's. And so we help them with transportation to get to those specialists so they can get the um, the care that they need. But you asked about kind of around here. There are other organizations in Baton Rouge that are associated with larger hospital systems and things like that. But as far as independent clinic, there's not really that.
Okay, awesome. So what, like, with it being in Denham, like, how do I say? I mean, I guess that's not really anything with being in Denham, but like, if someone did need y'all services or had, a child that needed y'all services, like, is this something that their pediatrician would recommend to come to y'all, or is this something they just have to find on their own? Like, how does that process go?
So, due to insurance regulations, we get referrals from their primary care most of the time. We also get referrals from other specialists. So, whether it be a neurologist or a gastro doctor or ENTs, dentists. So, depending on what is the concern, those types of doctors will refer to us, but they do have to have a referral. So, they would just send the referral here and call and get on our wait list. And then when we reach them, we would contact them for to schedule appointments and evaluations and things like that.
Awesome, awesome. So how, like, with y'all being a nonprofit and stuff like that, like, how's this stuff funded? Obviously y'all have a big beautiful building. You've got a lot of workers here, a lot of children, a lot of stuff. Like, how is everything? How do y'all get the funding for a lot of that? I know this may be
I was
an Abigail question.
that is my job. So, like she mentioned, we cover whatever insurance and Medicaid doesn't cover, but we also will do whatever the kids need, regardless of a family's ability to pay. So with that, that means we have gaps, and so whether that's policy exclusions, insurance denials, adaptive equipment, different things like she kind of already highlighted. We have special events during the year, so we have like a gala every year. We do a clay shoot that's actually coming up in April 10th. It's at Covey Rise this year. But we do those two big special events. We also do like monthly giving, recurring giving. We have give back nights. We just have a lot of different avenues. But so all of that money is used to cover those visits and to supply those kids the things that they need. Um, and as well as the capital campaign that she mentioned is another big thing we're working on to be able to alleviate that wait list and bring in those other additional services.
So something that makes us a little different in reference to what Abigail was describing. So authorization denials and visit limits. Most situations when the insurance, we do bill insurance and Medicaid. So when they don't pay, but we still feel like the child needs that service, we continue that care. And so the fundraising money pays for that difference. And so a lot of times we'll get an insurance denial and you would traditionally stop services and file appeals and go through that process. But in our case, if we did that, our children would likely regress during that time. And once they started therapy again, we'd have to start the whole process over
It can
again.
take weeks for those appeals to go through, and then even if you do wait, you still might get denied again. I actually started off in insurance authorizations when I started working here because there was a need for it. So it kind of gave me some real insight to, I lived here my whole life and I didn't realize how much of a need there is in our community. And then to see kids with severe diagnoses getting denied from insurance, it blew my mind. So it really also just gave me a personal passion to see, what these families need and they're not getting it from insurance. And so as far as my fundraising job, like that's just really empowered me to go out, spread the word, and ask people to join in and help.
Absolutely. So how, like, as far as a community involvement thing, and that's, the whole reason I do this stuff and talk because, with Denham Springs, especially if you've lived here your whole life, like, you kind of understand how our community is, and it's so different from anywhere else because everyone's so tight knit and supporting each other. As I was kind of talking to y'all before we started this, like when I interviewed Mustard Seed, all kinds of stuff was going on in the media with what they were dealing with the city, and Denham Springs just poured into them. And I mean, they talked about in the interview, like, if it wouldn't have been for Denham Springs, like, we wouldn't have gotten to this. And so, like, with that being said, like, how can the Denham Springs, I mean, even if it's not even Denham Springs, like, how can the community get involved, whether it's volunteering or donating? Like, how does that process work? I know you said your fundraisers and stuff like that, but is there ways, like, to volunteer as far as the community for, like, events y'all do? Like, how does.
So rewind a little bit. So we started in 2015, and our same supporters from 2015 support us today. So talking about the community and just the support that we feel every day is, I can't describe it. And they show up again and again, year after year. As far as how to volunteer, Abigail has links on our Facebook page. The best thing to do is follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook and our website has different links to sign up. We have like Google Forms. Right now, like I mentioned, the clay shoot's coming up in April, so I think it posted today actually, but we're looking for people to join the clay shoot committee to just help those events. But we do the same thing for the gala, and I try to tell people that it's not necessarily you know how to plan a big event, but it might be you have connections to the community and you can help me, make new connections, or it might be you're really good at doing decor and so you can help me do that aspect, or there's just all these different components and avenues that every single person has some capacity to help, but my job and what I like to do is find what that is. So doing that also, rewinding a little bit to the insurance and those things, last year in 2024 that gap that we faced was almost 600,000, so that number was what we did as a clinic in services and adaptive equipment, all those extra things that we mentioned. So that means between fundraising and grants and special events, like that is what we had to come up with to cover what we did for those families.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna follow up with a question on that.
Yeah.
But while we're kind of talking about this, so you kind of alluded, and kind of got into it. But there's one question that I ask in every single, even when I was doing my older ones, every single interview that I ask with stuff like this, and it's kind of a general question, but I can easily answer it myself for how I feel. But this question, and I love hearing answers from this, is, I know you talk about Denham Springs and what this area is, and so I love asking, like, kind of what does Denham Springs mean to you? Like, what if you could kind of sum up what Denham Springs means to you and this amazing company and what they've done, like, because like I said, people, if you're not from here and you don't live here, like, you don't understand. Even if you live 10 minutes up the road on O'Neill Lane in Baton Rouge, you don't understand like what this community does and how the support system here. So like what do they mean for y'all and this to keep this dream kind of going on what y'all are doing?
What I love is most of our staff are not from Denham Springs.
Oh wow.
And so, what's great to see, or what really tells the story, is that when they need something, they come ask me. And it's not that I know the answer, but I know who to call for the answer. So, whenever launch needs something or a staff member needs something, they'll come in and I broke my windshield today. Where do I go? Boom. Abigail's dad has a glass company, or I mean, it can be anything. And usually, if I don't know the answer, I know someone that can help us find the answer. And so, anything, whether it's, like I said, helping our staff versus helping our families, I know who to call when I need something. And that sense of community is what keeps this thing going. And everybody's committed to making this great. And it doesn't take one person, it takes the whole community to make it great. The Kiwanis Club is actually sponsoring Thanksgiving for 40 families. They're delivering this afternoon. And then Christmas rolls around and they're going to help with Christmas presents. And we other community organizations call all the time, the Lions Club, the Pilot Club, school organizations. Everybody's just committed, and that's a different feel than you would probably have in a different community. You might have a smaller, knit within like maybe a school that supported each other or something like that. But this is broader than that, and it really makes things great. You mentioned interviewing principals. We work very closely with the school system, and I'll have principals and different staff members, teachers call our staff or call me, and this kid's having trouble. Do you have any insight? What can we do? But it's a back and forth exchange all the time on how we can work for these families. And sometimes it has nothing to do with therapy. It could be something, exactly, just networking and connecting people and trying to figure out what we can do to meet a need.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna, not to go on too long, because I know you're busy today, but I do have two more questions that I guess maybe one for you and then kind of a summary one. So obviously, what you do in the fundraising and stuff like that, and I know you're talking about you are looking at expanding it and doing all these things. So, like, I guess it's kind of a vague question, but it's not. Like, what, as we sit right now, today, I don't know what's today, the 23rd. Is that today? 24th, 25th.
It is the
26th.
No.
5th.
We're 2 days before Thanksgiving. That's
It
all we
is
know. We're
the
2 days before
yeah.
Thanksgiving. I know
25th.
that.
My son's birthday was
Yeah.
yesterday.
So as we
I was
sit
like, I'm not
today,
gonna get it right.
2 days before Thanksgiving, like what do y'all need right now, like from the community? As I know y'all said y'all have 400 kids on the waiting list here. So obviously you're looking at getting bigger space. Like what are y'all looking for in the community right now?
I mean, I guess, like I said, everybody has different strengths, whether that's connecting us to other people that might can help in a monetary way, that's just building those relationships. We're always open to hear, who might be interested in what we're doing here at launch. We're also doing an end of the year campaign. It's called Give Me Five, where we're asking for recurring donors to either give $5 a month, $15, like whatever that looks like. Because ultimately, every single dollar impacts a child, and that's the best thing about my job. I get to come in and see the kids, and I have special relationships with some of them. But I know that every single person that donates to launch, I can be like, hey, this is my buddy and you're making a difference in his life. I get to see that. And we welcome people to come on tours here, to come learn kind of about what we do, to see their impact in the clinic. But yeah, so the end of the year campaign, connecting us with other people that want to learn more. And then also, like I said, the volunteering, the committees.
And if you have ideas, call us.
Yeah.
So a great story is my dad is a retired hairdresser, and hairdressers and dentist offices are the hardest for our kids. And so I had my dad work with one of our occupational therapists to work on haircuts. And so now the whole process of putting on the cape and hearing the buzzers and all of the things associated with getting a haircut. So now when they go get a haircut, it's not so hard.
Right.
Same thing with the dentist office. We went to Yale Pediatric Dentistry and we made a social story. So we have pictures of the inside of their clinic. And so we can walk a child through that process. And we've actually had a therapist go there before with a child and not even do dental services. Just let them experience the space before they had to go do it. My sister is also with Benkaz Family Dentistry. And so those processes with dentist offices just they're scary. And so the light and the cape and the people in your face, and so we're able to work families through that. And so if the community has a situation where they say, oh, I've had several kids or families try to come to my business and we're having these issues, let us come help you figure it out. We're happy to, if it's not even directly related to a launch patient, but we can help you work your way through your business and say, how can we make this more friendly for these families? Because it's hard to take your kid to Walmart when they have a lot of things. It's hard to take typical kids to
Right, I'm about
Walmart.
to say, I got a 7-month-old. I'm like, somebody's got to stay home.
Yeah, exactly. So, if there's those moments of just situations that come up, it's hard for us to identify all the different things. But if you have a need, reach out to us and call us and talk to us, because we might be able to have a staff member work that out with you. We also have a staff member that's been meeting with churches. So a family tries to bring their child that has significant needs to a church, and the church isn't ready. They don't have the staff in place, they don't have the supports in place, and so Anna is going to churches and doing trainings and trying to help them get those in place. So it doesn't have to be a church; it could be any community setting. But that's another thing that we do to help our kids function better in the community.
And I feel like that's like sometimes for the younger kids and things, but we also partner with other people in the community, like Chick-fil-A. We have for like our older kids, we had a patient that wanted to work at Chick-fil-A. And so we partner with Chris and we got, oh yes, Jeff is this one. But yeah, Jeff Holyfield at the Chick-fil-A in Denham, he gives all the like promotional materials, and they worked with his speech device to be able to say all their slogans, like my pleasure and all that. So like equipping them to be able to go out in the community and be successful too is the other backside of that we also partner on that.
Jeff was super great because he like was like a pen pal with our buddy, and so that was pretty cool.
That is amazing. Y'all
so
definitely go way beyond. If there's anything that I've completely taken out of this, is y'all go so far beyond just therapy. So far beyond just physical therapy. I mean, that is like a percentage of everything that y'all do and offer, and it is amazing hearing everything here. And like I said, that's why I love doing these. just because people only see what they see, and they until you like get in and start talking and doing this stuff, no one really knows that probably y'all offered all these things, or there's and I hope anyone watching this video, if there's anyone watching this video that may need y'all services and that maybe they've learned something from this. But I guess finally, I know you kind of alluded to this earlier, but to kind of wrap it up on things, so one, how can people donate? And two, what are the upcoming events y'all have for fundraisers and stuff like that to kind of do all that in one segment?
So our website is www.launchpeds.com. On there we have plenty of information that just one talks about what we do here, the resources, but also we have links to donate. We have our upcoming events, and so like I think next week or so we should have the link to be able to sign up teams for the clay shoot, which I said is April 10th. It's on a Friday. It's at Covey Rise. It's beautiful. We have people from all different backgrounds come, so you don't have to be a professional clay shooter. It's just a great event, and everybody has a really great time. We have that in April, and then like I said, we always do our annual gala. It's usually September, October, and everybody loves that event. So it's
where's
just
that normally at?
Last year or this year, it was at events at Serenity, and the year before that was at White Oak. So kind of
mix it up a little
mix
bit.
it up a little bit, and we are open to new venue suggestions. We're always looking for new places to explore. But yeah, so we do those two big things a year, and then we do a give back night every now and then.
So are y'all's events like planned out long ahead of time, or is it kind of like, do y'all have 2026 already?
Yes, I don't have venue location for gala yet, but like I said, we have clay shoot already pinpointed, and as soon as we get gala secured with all the vendors, we'll let that information go. But yeah, Facebook and our website are the best two places to keep up with us. Facebook, we keep all the event information coming, and then we also post cute pictures of all the kids that get discharged and graduate therapy, so that it's just a great place to learn more about what we do.
That is fantastic. Well, if y'all got anything else y'all want to add, or anything y'all want to say to
Thank you
anybody?
for
Absolutely,
just
absolutely.
highlighting us and letting the
Absolutely.
community know more about how awesome denim is.
It's amazing, and I certainly appreciate y'all letting me sit down and talk. So, if y'all are watching this, Launch Physical Therapy, right? You know the address off the top of your head?
1310 South Range Avenue, Denham Springs, 70726.
There you go. There's the address right here. It's on the right. If you're heading towards Watson, on the left, you're heading towards Denham. Big building, you can't miss it. Got a sign out front.
Launch Therapy Center. Come see us.
Come hang out with them. Come tell them, hey, come donate. Do whatever y'all can to support the community. Because, like I said, that's what we're about here in Denham. Whether you live in Denham, Walker, anywhere in Livingston Parish, y'all kind of understand, what we do here and what we're about. So I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all come check them out. Go to their Facebook page, their website. That's launchpeds, PEDS.com.org. .com. And their Facebook's just Launch Therapy. It's your Facebook page. Okay. So y'all go follow them there. Check out their website and help in any way y'all can. So appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all sitting down and talking to me.